cultural centers today operate as churches, and many churches operate as cultural centers. They're one and the same. If you look at a Mennonite church, it's a cultural center. If you look at an Eastern Orthodox church, it's a cultural center. I would even argue that a Roman Catholic church appeals to Romans, who are now modern-day Italians. So the fact of the matter is, cultural and religion flows together. I don't want to prejudice the Indian Friendship Center, First Nations Friendship Center, because a lot of what they do in there has a spiritual religious purpose. So this needs to be updated for the purposes of consistency, lack of prejudice.
Point of order.
Okay, and so no, it's not a point of order. I'm speaking to the issue that I asked to speak to. There's no point of order needed here. So the fact of the matter is, that's the piece I would like to see addressed. Now back to you, Councillor Stevens, for your motion again.
Point of order has been raised, and that means that I have to be recognized by the chair, and the point has to be brought
One
forward.
moment, before I move my motion, your
correct.
request was so that everybody would have a chance to speak. Has everybody spoken?
Councillor Tilbury, you have the floor.
The point of order that I'm going to bring up is I don't know how to bring it up. I almost would like to see us step into closed for a moment.
No.
See, here's the problem that I have. Councillor Hensman, you've taken an interest in a building at a rather strategic spot on the main street of Mission there, at the corner of Main Street and Welton. People have told me it's going to become a church, and I've been told as we step through this process, it's improper for us to sit here at this table and argue or try and promote our own personal agendas. And generally, if that comes up or there's something that affects our own personal things, we should step out or step aside. And what you're advocating is that we change the zoning for the main street to a church where it's been kicked out of there. Is what I'm taking that.
It's not what I'm advocating at all. You're totally.
Okay. And if I'm out of place, then fine.
Totally out of place.
I'll stand there. But I mean, this is what I'm seeing, and I'm uncomfortable with this, and I need to say something.
That's fine, but you're completely misunderstanding the issue. Talking about the document, and the antiquated language is in the document.
Okay, is
Councillor
council now ready for me to present my motion?
I do have to give Councillor Jewell a chance to speak because he's the only councillor that hasn't spoken, and I don't believe Councillor Luck has spoken at this point.
No,
So
I want referral on it because then I
Okay.
can put my comments into Sharon and go from there. So I'm for referral.
One of the reasons I moved.
Yep.
Thank you. Well, I'm very interested in Councillor Stevens' motion and quite prepared to accept it.
Yep.
And I respect that she has a good deal more background on this than I have. But before I would vote on it, I think I need to know the reasoning why staff has done it the way they have, rather than go with the way Councillor Stevens proposes, because there may be a reason that I should be aware of before I vote on this motion. Well, Councillor Stevens wants you to redraft this and put things into the positive, and as I understand the motion, maybe you want to repeat that, Councillor Stevens.
Yes, what I'm asking, that instead of giving a recognised definition like retail, and then saying limited to, and doing a list of types of retail, which is inferring that that is what the uses are limited to, so it's excluding anything there that isn't named. You turn the whole thing round and make life a lot simpler and have a lot less verbiage by saying retail is a permitted use with the exception of, and after the of, there are only the items which council consider would not be in the community's interest to have there. So it'll be a much shorter list, it'll be a specific list, and everybody will know what is not approved down there and why. That's the nutshell of it. I will put it more concisely in my actual motion. But that is why. Because what we've heard this afternoon, a lot of arguments around the table about why this should or shouldn't be permitted and why this is included and why it isn't. And, oh, by the way, is this prohibited? So we need something much clearer. I suggest much more positive in that retail is allowed with the exception of selling kangaroos. I'm sorry about your kangaroos, Your Worship.
Okay.
But if that clarifies it for you, Jeff.
Okay.
That's why I'm moving for referral, to give staff a chance to come back with a clearer document.